right, welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
All righty, hello, and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. It is a Friday. Weekend is here. Oh, yeah, baby. Let's get it on. Oh, we kind of touched on it at the end of the show, and now some more details are coming out a bit. We'll see how this plays out, but it looks like they have Charlie Kirk's murderer in custody.
They do.
Looks like it. I just saw President Trump says a minister involved with law enforcement got the Charlie Kirk assassin's father to turn the shooter in. They drove into the police headquarters, and he's there now. So,
wow.
I don't know. Maybe that's how it went down. That's at least the initial report. You never know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that always comes out, and things change quickly, but that at least is the current narrative of what is going on there. So Jeff had sent that in as well. So it'll be nice. You shouldn't just be able to go around shooting people in the neck around here. So they need to be caught. I got an email here from Andres in Mission, Texas, who said, I've been with you guys for more than 15 years as a listener, listening to your show every single day in the car, at work, sometimes in bed to go to sleep at night, and even replaying previous episodes on weekends or holidays when you didn't have new content during your time at 3 different radio stations. But your segment on the assassination of Charlie Kirk broke my trust. You spoke of him as if he were simply a courageous debater and advocate for free speech, but he was far from that. Let me be clear. Nobody should be killed for voicing their political beliefs, and political violence has no place in a healthy society. But that truth does not excuse who Charlie Kirk was or the harm he caused. This isn't about right versus left, or as Jay Bird calls it, being a Republicrat. This is about not holding space for someone who openly spread hate while pretending to be a moral authority. Placing together vague and general aspects of a man's life to make him sound like a good person normalizes the racism, homophobia, xenophobia, and misogyny that he proudly promoted. Kirk said gun deaths were a worthwhile price to pay for gun rights. And what happened to him happens far too often to kids in classrooms. And as a teacher, I know that fear all too well. He openly mocked women's ambitions, saying they only go to college to snag a husband and get their MRS degree, and if their education and futures had no value beyond marriage. He said even if his hypothetical future 10-year-old daughter was a rape victim, she should be forced to give birth, demeaning black women and unqualified because of their race, and endorse scripture calling for violence against gay people like me and my husband. Those weren't slips of the tongue. They were core to his message. Having sympathy and empathy for his family's loss is human, even though Charlie Kirk said empathy is a new age term that does a lot of damage in society. Portraying him as a tragic hero erases the real harm he caused and the toxic climate words like his have helped create. And Kevin, you have a gay son. Hearing you gloss over a man who advocates for people like your son and me to be killed felt like a massive betrayal. KVJ has always claimed to be value honesty in the community of KVJ Nation, but right now I don't see that. If you can brush aside Charlie Kirk's bigotry and violence, stoking rhetoric just to sound even-handed, I don't know how I can keep listening to you. Andres. Well, in my conversation, what I was an advocate for, and hopefully it was clear, was just the right to say things and free speech and exchange of ideas, even if you don't like them in America. Nowhere in my conversation I say I agree with anything at all, even that Charlie Kirk had ever said. But I believe he has a right to say it in America. And you have a right to listen to it and then try to debate back with him. And that was what my conversation was about. To go in there and endorse or to pick apart all the ideas he'd had and unpack everything Charlie Kirk has ever debated is something that we're not going to do. But I think evenly I can say that right, left, no matter where your position is in America, you've always had the right to say that, and you should continue to have the right to say that. And if you lose that right because of violence or the threat of violence, then America is not America. And that's all I was saying. So, look, obviously, violence against gay people, and nowhere in my conversation would I advocate for that or endorse that.
No, never.
So to be clear, I'm not sure exactly what you thought you heard, but that was all I wanted to say about it. And to go into all those extraneous little details is not something I wanted to do. And just because somebody says something you don't like, it doesn't mean that they should die for it. And that's what I was saying was wrong in America. So I believe in free speech. I always have. I always will. And if that's what you heard that you didn't like, that I'm an advocate for free speech and be able to say it, then yeah, this probably isn't the place for you, because I'm not going to be changing my opinion on that. That's exactly what it needs to be. So that's what KVJ's always been about. That's what I will always believe. And I'm not going anywhere. And that position's not going to change.
Fuck Kevin and the Buckeyes. Yeah, I just said it. What you gonna do about it, bitch? No, I'm just.
So, you got to make a decision on what you want to do based on what I've said. But that's all I'm saying about it. And that's where I'll leave it.
You don't want to see anybody on either political side murdered.
Right.
With all the unrest and fighting in this country, like, no one should resort to killing someone they don't agree with politically.
Right.
On either side.
Now, if we ever went into it, and this isn't the forum for it because it's not what KVJ does, but if we ever wanted to unpack every little thing that Charlie Kirk ever debated and then go down that path, then we could do that, you and I separately. If you want to have that conversation, we will. Off of a KVJ platform, I'm happy to do that. I love doing that stuff in my free time.
Let me know when you guys are doing that, so I'm nowhere near it.
Oh, I'll go to the bar. I'll be getting a drink.
I know nobody here wants that.
I didn't really even know who he was. Well, my girlfriend called me. She's like, Charlie Kirk is dead. I had to Google Charlie Kirk.
So a lot of people don't know who he is. I know who you didn't either. And you were just hitting on the points of we shouldn't kill people. That's pretty much what your message was.
That was the glazing over it part, because KVJ doesn't go into in-depth detail about the things he would debate. That's just not what this platform is set up for. But to quickly say that whether you like what somebody says or not is not a reason for them to die in America, that you should be able to exchange ideas, even if they seem abhorrent to you, should be allowed. And we should always have that, no matter what your ideas are. So there you go. So that's where I'll leave that, because I know a lot of people don't give a shit, but I did want to address that for anybody who felt that same way. I wanted to clarify that nothing I'd said ever endorsed anything he stood for. The only thing I agree with him on is free speech and the exchange of ideas.
You love debate.
I love debate.
And healthy learning and open-minded conversation. Kevin has always loved that. Even if he disagrees with everything somebody is saying, he still wants to listen and then figure out what he thinks.
Well, I know for a fact you don't believe a lot of things that Charlie Kirk believed in. I know who you are, and I know.
And I will tell you, I spent a lot of time. I did watch a lot of Charlie Kirk because I thought he was such a great debater, and he really was. And what he inspired me to do, when I vehemently disagree with him on something, it inspired me to go look up, to educate myself more on my position and my side to see if the beliefs I held were correct. And I honestly sometimes would fantasize, be like, man, if I ever get into debate this guy, because I saw people come up and they would whiff terribly because they just weren't ready.
They were outmatched verbally.
Right.
And so you picture yourself in their shoes.
Right.
What would I say if I got to debate Charlie Kirk?
If I had the chance, be like, you should have gone down this route, not that route. And so I love that. And that is debate, and that's what it should be. But violence should never be a part of it. To me, you beat somebody by having a better argument, better ideas, and you're just more informed than they are. And that's what debate should be.
Dude, even when we were talking about the CEO that got killed, I got a lot of shit for saying that I don't believe you should murder somebody. And I couldn't believe how many people were saying, Bird, shut the fuck up, stay in your lane. The guy deserved to die, you dumb fuck. All right, you know what? I'll talk about pizza. I will talk about Bigfoot, although I get a lot of shit for that as well, mostly from this room.
Stick to aliens, asshole.
Well, that's pretty much what it, and I was just saying, and like you're saying, I didn't know all the bones and all the details.
No, I didn't even know who he was.
I just know that in my heart, I don't personally believe, and I have the right to have my opinion too, just like everyone else. I don't believe in killing people like that. I just don't. That's my, and I should have the right. And I was kind of surprised on how many motherfuckers came for me on that. Because, and I will openly admit, I don't know everything that's going on out there. I just know that I don't like seeing people getting shot on the street. or shot anywhere.
The one thing that I think has changed a bit in our society that I don't like is if you have a different opinion than somebody, people feel like you shouldn't even hang out with them, associate with them, that you should have a homogeny of everybody you hang out with has the same ideals, the same thoughts, the same vision, and live in this bubble. And you just sit there all day long, jerking each other off, confirming each other's beliefs without being challenged and hearing somebody else say something different. I love when some of my best friends, we terribly disagree on some very core principles, but it doesn't mean I can't be their friend. I can't hang out with them. In fact, I enjoy it because I like hearing them talk about what they believe, and then it challenges me to be like, do I firmly believe the opposite?
And you learn about yourself, and you learn about them, and you learn about things in the world that you didn't know about when you have conversations with people that don't agree with you.
Do you know what shit me and Virginia disagree on? And I love her. I love her to death.
And it should be that way.
we have got into very, I would call them spirited debates.
Vegetable pizza is the best pizza.
No, we actually don't have spirited. We have a full-on fucking uncomfortable fight on the air. But we can bounce back from it.
Yeah.
You know, you can really not. Now, again, the things that they listed off in that email, we're talking matters of the heart kind of stuff where people are going to get emotionally charged on if you don't believe in one thing. How could you not believe in it?
And you should. That email listed off some very important topics. That, yeah, absolutely. Like I could go in, and if you ever want to sit down, I'd be happy to dig into all those different little things you brought up in that email.
Not here. But
you want to sit down, have a beer? I'd love to do that. That'd be fine for me. But yeah, that's all it was, is here on this show, and I believe in America, open debate should always be allowed in this country where you can say what you think, and it should be done without you having to worry about taking a bullet in your neck.
And sometimes we are kind of in a weird spot because I personally think we are the best when we are all in a goofy mood, having fun and laughing. But then there are times in life where you do have to address certain things, because if you are being goofy, fun, and laughing, then you get called out for that. I mean, we got called out for talking about Charlie Kirk yesterday, but not the school shooting in Colorado. So it's a fine line. I know I'm at my best when I'm doing goofy stuff, but there's times where you can't, ignore certain things where everyone's talking about.
Everybody's talking about this.
And I was getting called out yesterday because I started the show talking about 9/11, because to me that was America first, and I felt like that needed to be said. And that was USA, and it was all about coming together. And people are like going, oh, I see you start off with 9/11, but you're not going to talk about Charlie Kirk. I'm like, give me time. I said, it's a 4-hour show.
I know. Have they talked about this yet?
Give it a little time.
We go on till 10.
So if anybody even asks why you would do that at all, it's like, yeah, some things are that big that, we need to address them in a certain way in the KVJ style. And that's what we did yesterday.
And there's certain things that we've got planned out at certain times where, if it's 3 doom and gloom stories back to back, we're kind of like,
I
wanted to throw a couple lighthearted things in between hitting 9/11 and getting to Charlie Kirk. And so it wasn't all heavy. And so that's why the time delay on that was strategically done for that reason. And like I said, I put it's God country, and you go in that order, and everything else is, second. So,
and just because we don't talk about it in the moment, and I'm not really trying to be a dick when I say this, just because you don't hear in the moment we're not talking about, doesn't mean we're not going to address it. Doesn't mean there's a reason why sometimes we do it that way.
Right.
And Kevin did have a plan.
I did.
And he stuck to his plan.
I did.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I had the plan. Still got the hate mails.
And you're gonna.
You're going to.
Kevin.
You'll get more from your rant today.
That's the one consistent thing about KVJ. No matter what we do, we get hate mail.
Well, you can't please everybody. But look, that comes with the territory of being a public figure. Yeah. You're going to say shit. Even on the lowest, most benign level about pizza, you're going to get motherfuckers who get so fired up. And we're not talking about pizza. We're talking about,
way heavier.
Heavier stuff. So yeah, you're going to You're going to get some emotional emails, and they're not going to agree with you. But that does come with the gig.
It does. And this is the heart of what Kevin is trying to say. We should be able to talk about this without you saying, KVJ sucks, I'm never listening again. That is what the whole thing is about.
That I don't like. That's the only thing I'll say I don't like. You can email, call us fuck faces, but it's when it's the you've disappointed me and I'm never going to listen to you again. First of all, we know that's not true because you want to hear your email, you want to hear Kevin's response, and now you want to hear if we bring it up again. So you are going to listen again. Now you're just going to hate listen, which helps us in the ratings just as much.
But it's sad though, because I don't want people to hate listen.
No, but
I want them to listen with the open mind and realize that, Kevin probably is the person amongst all of us that comes in here wanting to hear the other side and wanting to think about things and be a thoughtful, caring human.
Yeah, and if anybody does want to continue the dialogue, I will exchange with you via email. We'll keep it off this platform, but yeah, I think we've said enough with it.
Hey, who's ready for?
Appreciate the emails.
Who's ready for the weekend, huh?
Hey, Fireball!
Friday.
Well, one thing, and I do appreciate this from Lisa, because I've gotten to a place now with my wife. I've wanted to go to a couple events at Hard Rock Stadium since we went to that last concert, and she's like, I'm not going back there. And I'm like, come on. She's
it's
like,
the exodus you have a problem with.
It's the parking. And now I'm like, getting her, when she gets on something in her head, I don't know how I'll ever go back to Hard Rock Stadium now, because it took us 90 minutes to get out of there after the last concert we went. She's like, that's just insane. I'm like, you're right, it is. But what Lisa's saying here, this might be the hack, and probably by reading this I'll ruin it, but... So I'm actually shooting myself in the foot. She said, lately I've been hearing about the excessive parking costs and the hassle of attending Hard Rock Stadium. I was talking to a guy at game day last week, I say every week, and he said the same thing. He's like, yeah, he said it took us almost 2 hours to get out of that concert. I was like, what are they doing? He's like, yeah, they shut down roads and they try to send everybody west. You're like, what the hell are you doing? Like, can I just get to the turnpike? Like, it would free up so much. And they shut that off. I don't understand what that is, because
that makes no sense.
Easily get everybody out on the turnpike and head where you got to head. I used to be able to do that. I don't know why they stopped doing that. So he said, yeah, I went to a Dolphins game last year and I learned about the park and ride option. It's really great. For $10 a car, you park in a lot across the street from the Hard Rock Hotel. Then you board an air-conditioned charter type style bus for the 20-minute ride to the stadium. It drops you right off at the gate. Then you board the bus from the same gate after the game for the ride back to your car. You buy your ticket for the park on ride lot on the link attached, $10 a car, not per person. People were tailgating, having a great time. My son and his girlfriend went to the Hurricanes game, and this option was not offered. So you need to check in advance on the availability for concerts, etc. But yeah, I did notice, I think it was when we went to the Morgan Wallen show, that there were people that because we went to the Hard Rock afterwards. We didn't park there, but we went there because, my son and his gambling habit. And I saw a lot of Morgan Wallen shirts that were there. And so a lot of people go there. I was like, that's smart, because especially if, my wife and son love the gambling aspect of it so much. And I like hanging out. They got cool bars. And it's just,
you can get a cocktail and pray they don't lose.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah.
Please, God.
Sometimes it is fun to watch someone else bet because it's not your money.
They got it all right.
No, it is my money.
Actually,
That's
it's your money.
It's absolutely his money.
Yeah. I don't mind seeing other people lose. Yeah.
That's on me, Kevin.
That's the sad part.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's a pretty decent idea. And honestly, that's what I'm going to suggest is why don't we start trying to do that? But again, that is the one issue. And that's the other issue too with the shuttle that they do from the Brightline station in Aventura, is that they don't offer it for every event. And even then, we had done the shuttle one time, and I think it was relatively effective getting in and out. But if they don't have that, then it is a nightmare. Getting an Uber out of there, not realistic.
Oh, gosh.
The latest thing that I had seen was if you do take the Brightline into the Aventura station, they have some drivers, might either have a contract with the stadium, and it's $75. It'll cost you $75 to get 3 miles to the Brightline station in Aventura.
Eesh.
Right. And so that's just where my wife's like, especially if it's something that's televised. That's why I was like, let's go to a football game. She's like, it's on TV.
She could take that 75 and put it all on red, and then...
Right, exactly, yeah. They have no problem blowing money when it comes to gambling, but yeah. Doing something like a $75 card, no, that's just crazy talk. Yet they walk right up to a roulette table, $100. Gone. Not a problem on that one. Madness, Virginia. My world is just madness.
It's driving him nuts.
Just driving me crazy. Good Lord.
This is why he drinks.
It is. You're right.
You gonna have any drinks today?
Yes, a lot. A ton.
That was a quick yes.
A ton.
Yes.
The more I talk, the more I'm like, oh, yeah. Can't come fast enough.
I have some of that Tennessee moonshine that I brought back from my trip. You're welcome to get into it. We got a little bit over here on the shelf.
I would drink some, but I'd need a ride home.
I'll drive you. I'll drive both of you. I'll just, like a school bus, drop you both off.
She just honk, honk.
Bye-bye. Don't forget your lunchbox.
I go to the costume store. I don't know.
Oh, you got to go to the costume store today?
It's, yeah. I know. So maybe I do want that moonshine.
I noticed the Spirit Halloween stores are popping up.
Oh, yeah.
They put one up over there at the old Stein Mart at US 1 and PGA.
Is it fully operational?
It looked like they were about to kick open the doors.
Shit.
I'd seen that they at least did it for a gag, but I hear that they're really making a Phillies Karen costume for Halloween.
It's so topical
Marlins
and
game
perfect.
last Friday.
That would be easy to do.
Yeah, just a Phillies jersey, a Karen wig.
They do that really quick
baseball.
now. They turn it around, and that will be a huge costume, and they'll sell thousands of it. They're smart.
Right, absolutely. So Alyssa said, you were talking earlier about if the K-pop Demon Hunters song Golden was a product of AI. Just for clarification, singer-songwriter EJ provides the singing voice for the character Rumi in the movie. EJ, who co-wrote Golden, is also behind several other songs from this film soundtrack. That's good, yeah, because what I had done was I played, it's a K-pop artist, and it's all AI. But honestly, I couldn't even tell. I couldn't tell. I saw the video. I heard the song. I was like, I'd have no idea. If they wouldn't have told me it was an AI artist, I'd have no idea. I figured it was the latest K-pop thing. So it's crazy. And that's why how much stuff are you going to wonder now?
Yeah. And what are you going to even know? They tricked us with that band recently. There was a AI band.
Yeah, we played that.
We played it.
I mean, it's okay. It's nothing that was, this is my new favorite song, but it was all right. If it was on, you were shopping, I'd be like, okay.
It didn't trick me.
Yeah, okay.
It didn't trick the master musician in the room.
If you haven't ear and you're looking for AI, you can find it. It's not that hard.
I just wonder if they're ever going to have laws on disclosure, or is that because it feels like that's kind of a gray area right now. It feels like you should.
It is a gray area because on any app you can create some type of AI song for your video if you type in a few words. But I do wonder if there's only so many combinations of songs those AI songs produce, and how similar would they be? For example, if Virginia was working on something and you put, I want creepy, I want eerie, but make it kind of upbeat.
Sassy.
Yeah, with the word, that's right, bitch, or the words. I wonder how many other AI songs would sound similar if they are using almost kind of like it wouldn't be identical, but it'd be very similar. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of things we'll find out when it comes to AI.
I just love it when I say, see what I'm saying, and someone follows with, yeah. I just hope they're not lying to me.
Well, I'm scared of AI, too. So it's like there's certain tasks that I think it's cool for. But then there's certain tasks that I'm like, no, I don't want it over there. But it feels like it's going to leak into everything. AI is leaky.
I want it for my bitch work.
Yes.
I don't want it for my creativity.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. I'm the same way. And I'm hoping that's what it winds up becoming.
That's not what it's looking like they're trying to do with it.
Well, I just know that because I love talking, especially people locally who either write their own music or painters or artists. And I always ask them, I say, what's your opinion on AI? And it's a slam dunk bloodbath where majority of people are just say, fuck the robot. Because if you're an artist and you take pride and you do something original and someone just, says 5 words, Medusa, mermaids, a big old dick, and a thunderstorm. And boom, AI does it. I'd rather have the human. Give me that big old dick. Give me that mermaid.
Denny's, can you pull that clip? I just need the part that says, I would rather have that human give me that big old dick.
You really could fuck somebody over by just taking one sentence and then edit it down.
I want that to be your ringtone when you call me.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's asking about the band that we were talking about. It was the Velvet Sundown. Was the name of it.
Velvet Sundown.
Yeah.
Completely fake. AI created.
Yeah, that's what they claim. Susan's saying that was a rumor. It's not an AI band, but
What?
I don't know. Everything I'm still seeing says that it was. I don't know if you're talking about the same project or not, but yeah, that's everything I'm seeing says that. Now, we were talking about how expensive some of those wands are. You can get Disney on Ice is going to be at Amerant Bank Arena this weekend. And Nancy said, yeah, I went to Disney on Ice to see Frozen. I took my niece. And yeah, those wands are expensive, but not for the reason that you might think. I got one for my niece, came home, and she broke my brother's TV with it.
Oh.
So I had to buy him a new TV.
Oh.
Some TVs, though, are cheaper than they used to be.
Still.
And then there's the ones I always talk about. You go to Best Buy. It's that room where that I don't belong in. It's just fancy TVs. It feels like things are jumping out of the screen.
I think it's called like the Magnolia.
It is, man.
They have like a special room.
I'd imagine your TV's got to be in the Magnolia room, right? Because your TV's fancy, I feel like.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, it's a couple years old now, but yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it was the one thing. Like I'd said, if I ever splurge, this is what I'm going to splurge on.
And much like everything, it's getting bigger and bigger. We are size queens in this country when it comes to our televisions. Mm-hmm. Because they're just getting bigger and badder.
They really are.
I know. I mean, I when I saw Kevin's, I'm going, gosh, I'm so jealous. I could have 6 episodes of Twilight Zone going off at the same time.
Got an email here from James about your toilet, Virginia. Coming from a plumber, one of the best and most reasonably priced toilets on the market is the Toto Drake. They usually run in the $250 to $300 range. They got a nice design, powerful flush, and they're easy to clean. Those are the toilets my company always recommend when replacing toilets.
Toto Drake.
Yeah, the Toto Drake.
Okay.
So there you go.
Is it Drake the rapper or it's no, probably not.
Don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he has his own toilet. That's a weird thing to endorse. When you think of shit, think of me. I don't know.
Toto Drake. Yeah, there it is. All right. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. So that's just a thing. Also, we got Jeremy send this in. Virginia, can you tell us about the war on the shore for us that haven't heard the story with your ex-mother-in-law?
Can you do it like Kevin does it in 10 seconds or less? I bet you could.
10 seconds or less?
Yeah,
no.
I don't know. Yeah, it's got some good ins and outs. You don't want that in 10 seconds.
It does. You're right. It needs to breathe.
So my first marriage wasn't really great. And my first husband's mother did not like me. And I felt the same way about her. But it was Christmas time. And we had just come from seeing the Nutcracker Ballet. And we had come back to the condo. It was a small condo, which I think adds to it because when you have that many people that don't like each other in a tiny space, it makes it worse. Mm-hmm. I said something that pissed her off. I don't know what it was.
But she was on your ass, too. She'd say passive-aggressive stuff about your mothering, and that was really kind of really bubbling up at a volcano level.
This is the woman that, like, when I had a newborn, Magnolia was like 3 weeks old. She came over to help me around the house, and she took the sofa and moved it away from the wall and cleaned behind it and saved the dirty water from the baseboards and said, I was a filthy mother and I kept a filthy house. And look, here's the water. I kept it so you could see what kind of home you've brought a newborn in.
Gosh, that'd be some bullshit. My mom would have just,
She moved the sofa and cleaned the baseboards behind it and saved the water to shove it in my face when I came home from work. So...
Yeah, that's tough. And some mother-in-laws, they do that. They just think that their son is not with a quality woman and they want to point out the flaws. Why? Either they think they're going to change you or maybe they'll open their son's eyes to leave you. It's weird, but you're not the first person that's had those kind of issues.
And then when I did leave, she was furious when I left her son. And all of them were so mad at me and wouldn't speak to me. I'm like, bitch, what do you want?
Right.
So the night of the Nutcracker Ballet, we had come back to the house and I'd had a few champagnes and I think she started coming at me. So I said something back and she didn't like what I said. And I was holding Magnolia.
Okay.
And she charged me.
Oh,
she
no.
Put her head down.
Like a bull.
Like a rhinoceros.
Wow.
And she charged me, but she started like doing this windmill thing with her hands. And I'm like...
The problem about the windmill...
She chose violence.
She chose violence and she was coming quick. And I was like, well, even holding my baby, I can still connect with the left. And I did.
Yeah. And the windmill can be effective, although it does kind of open you up with there's a lot of space to get a punch in there.
Well, I think it's effective if you think the person's not going to hit you. Because you can do a lot of damage if you come running at somebody with the windmill.
You're right. There's a lot of opening
if the
there.
person won't hit you. But don't come at me with the windmill with your head down because I will punch you in your jaw and it will be a direct hit.
Leaves exposed.
So
it's an insane concept, though, that you would come at your own grandbaby as she's being held by the mother, even if you can't.
It's wild.
I mean, what a terrible choice on her part. And she was stone cold sober, right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. Was she a big drinker?
No. I mean, they would have like a few glasses, but, it wasn't that anybody was a drunk.
She didn't like you.
No.
She didn't like you from the beginning.
She didn't like me stone cold sober.
Yeah, I mean, we had this in our family where the mother-in-law did not necessarily like my mother, and it was always a big deal when she would come down to visit, and we just knew as kids, we're like, oh, fuck, grandma's coming down, all hands on
Something's
deck.
gonna happen.
Just everyone, it was kind of stressful a little bit.
Well, a person like that just wants to make drama because they need attention. And I think everybody in the family had always given her attention and been like, oh, are you okay? Oh, and feed into it and make this monster bigger. But I was the first one that was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you, not once, but twice.
Right.
And you can get the fuck out of my house. And no one could believe it that I would have the balls to speak to her that way. And
talk about the connection, the punch, and the effect it had on her after you connected. How cleanly did you connect? Where? And then how did she immediately react?
In slow motion, I'm coming at you.
Well, as soon as I connected, her husband jumped up and grabbed me.
Coming at you. Show me where you had her. Ooh.
You got her right in the chin?
Yeah, right there in the jaw. And her husband grabbed me, and she continued to hit me, and now my arms are down.
So he put your hand so you can't swing back, and he held you so that his wife could then wail on you?
Yeah.
What an asshole.
That continued to happen.
That's unreal. That is unreal.
And I broke free from all of it and then all of them.
I think you're next.
Somehow in all of this, like somebody took Magnolia out of my arms. Like it was just chaos. Like
That's
it was
a
just
mess.
It was a
Too
mess.
messy.
But that's how they are.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I realized this is not the family for me.
Right.
This is not going to be my life. This is not going to be my child's life.
Yeah.
But, unfortunately for Magnolia, that continued to be her life. They yell, they scream, they fight, they make up, and there's tears, and there's just,
That's a lot of
highs
drama.
that are so
Right.
high and lows that are slow. I didn't grow up like that. And so I am just.
That's exhausting.
I have no tolerance for that. I don't like
Right.
fighting. I don't like screaming. I don't like any of that. And
Wow.
I removed myself from all of that. And they could not believe that I had the nerve to walk away. I'm like, guys,
Wow.
y'all are crazy. Y'all can continue to do that over there. I'm going to be over here.
I'm going to teach you the 8-point blocking system that I've learned. It will help you in any fight that you ever get into.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not above learning your YouTube karate.
See how well it works for him.
I actually learned it when I was 9, back when I took Spitali's karate.
Okay.
And Karen has a question for you, Bird. Where can I find free porn now that Pornhub is gone? Asking for a friend. Wink, wink.
But X videos doesn't make you do all the card stuff, but I think that's gonna eventually go under.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I believe it's X videos. That's the one that you don't have to say. Now you have to give your likes. I'm like, what the fuck that? I'm not giving my information. You kidding me?
They want you to swipe in?
They make porn harder to get into now with the Pornhub and all that kind of stuff. And your boy goes back to Skinamax, the old days. They still got that stuff available.
Oh, really? Okay.
Skinamax.
Yeah.
Is that what you search for?
No, you just, I'm not giving my fucking ID for porn. I got it all in my head. I'm good. I got a good Rolodex.
Has porn gotten a lot more intense
Yes.
over the years?
It has. It's gotten to a point where the craziest kind of scenarios have made it into the mainstream. And we're talking mother lusts for stepson, and stepson fucks step grandma while uncle's in the corner. It's crazy. And it's not like they're these hidden sites. There's stuff that's on the front of the page. It's gotten crazier, and it's available to pretty much anybody for free. And I do think that does change a bit. I think that changes people. You can have a porn addiction, and I think it can mess with some people's, I don't want to say chemistry, but I think it can mess with your thoughts, and I think you got to be careful with it.
Your thoughts are everything.
I've been saying that for a long time, and I think you could absolutely watch way too much porn, and I think it can absolutely screw up your head.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I believe you,
I'm no
Bird.
fuddy-duddy. Porn's fun and all, but I think too much of anything, you got to be careful of that. Mm-hmm. I've seen it destroy people's lives.
You ever heard of the Adam and Eve channel?
I believe I have.
Okay, Big Prince of Peace is saying R.I.P. Apparently it's no longer around.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, but right now, X videos is the one you can go on to, and they're not going to ask you for all that. But keep in mind, that day's probably coming.
Well,
X
pun
videos.
intended.
You probably just signed their death certificate.
Yeah.
Because now the guy on the radio told everybody about X videos.
All of a sudden, that site's going to crash from South Florida.
All right, well, whatever you need, obviously we're here for you. If you want to bitch or you want to find out about porn, we got everything. A to Z. Just send us those emails, mail@kvjshow.com. Want y'all to have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday. Goodbye.